Christina Tubin. Christina Tubin of Free and Equal. She organized this event.
I'd have to see her.
So let's see.
Okay.
I think the whole point of being someone who is a third-party candidate is to not continue the status quo. I do.
Okay, so first of all, the idea that she's running in the unicorn party, I think, is just
And
one
here's
way
the
to start.
thing. And here's the thing. Seriously, in all seriousness, if I wasn't interested, like, into politics and know what I know and cared, but I was just somebody that was just like done and just, I don't give a.
Give me the unicorn party.
Honestly, first of all, she's got purple hair.
The
Now,
color just works.
It just does.
It's
And
ugly.
because if you're going to run under the unicorn party, you should have purple hair. But honestly, no, if I were someone who was just at the end and had zero shits to give, and I went in and saw the ballot at this point for president, I probably would vote for the unicorn party.
All right, here we go.
Do not see the purpose in preserving houselessness, hunger, starvation. Like, those are things that are happening not just in Gaza, but right here. We have people who are malnutritioned right here in the United States. I understand that the focus is people are worried about too much socialism. What are you going to lose? What are you going to lose? But you don't have to lose anything for someone to get a bigger piece of the pie if we stop funneling all our money overseas to bad guys and to corporations that don't pay taxes.
And so it's important for people to unite together.
She lost it right there. She addressed it. She was almost going to get it. She said, you don't need to have a bigger piece of the pie, but she still went with the pie. So she got that we could all have if we'd stop sending money there, thereby bringing back the pie. So see, this is the problem. I know too much. This is what I said. Like, if I would have to know nothing and then I would just be okay with that. She sounds like there's no pie, unicorn lady. There's no pie.
Across the political spectrum, across left and right, it's not a left versus right issue, it's a right versus wrong issue. And when we talk about the 13th Amendment and the fact that we have legalized, constitutionalized slavery in this country, I read a story yesterday about a young man who worked for 136 hours and sent his prison money that he worked 136 hours to the people of Gaza for relief. How much money did he get send? Under $18 because he was paid 1.3 cents an hour for his labor. We do have slave labor in this country. If you live in Louisiana, your governor's mansion is being cleaned, vacuumed, and the toilets being scrubbed by prison labor. And so it's
the one thing that the libertarians are actually correct about, even though they do have the austerity bend in their economics, but here's the thing. They are absolutely correct more than any other political faction about A, how much we waste in this country, and B, how much we take advantage of working people.
Well, and very anti-corruption. They're very anti-corruption. Do we know, does anybody know, is this gentleman their actual nominee yet?
He is, considering that Dave Smith is not going to be running, Chase Oliver right now would be considered the front runner to get the Libertarian
But he doesn't
Party
have that yet. He does not
yet.
have a nomination yet. Okay.
important for us to speak out that the government is abusing people, and corporations, large corporate interests, are the people who are invested in making sure that we are subjugated by our government, and we should oppose it at every level.
And I just wanted to extend the connection between the indigenous people of the United States, that is the First Nations of the United States, and the indigenous people of Gaza. Just noting that there is a very active and horrific genocide that is underway right now. Regrettably, you know, there's a horrific history of genocide of indigenous people in this country. And that is ongoing, though low grade, but that continues the oppression and the hardships, the sickness, the poverty, the drug addiction, and so on. There is active harm to indigenous people in this country that needs to be rectified, but there's also a very active, full-blown genocide going on in Gaza right now. And I
think it's important to note, and we will let you guys know ahead of time because that's what we do for our audience. Jill Stein will be our guest. Today is the 4th. She will be our guest 2.5 weeks from now, Thursday at 1 p.m. on the 21st.
I've never met Dr. Stein. And here's the thing about this Dr. Jill. She's actually really, really a doctor.
Well, technically, any doctor, you're really only supposed to have the. Do you know what the technical the technicality is when it comes to calling somebody a doctor? Do you know what the technical requirement is?
If you have a doctorate degree?
If you can prescribe medication. That's technically what it's supposed to be. So,
well, that's what I always grew up thinking was sort of like that was more of what was our understanding. But in terms of technically, yes, if you have a doctorate degree, then somebody could call you doctor.
Yeah, I agree. All right, let's keep going.
Very critical that we call that to an immediate halt and cease all funding for the state of Israel, stop supplying weapons, and basically apply a national BDS, boycott, divestment, and sanctions program towards Israel.
That's bold. That's bold. I haven't heard any of them say that. I mean, well, Claudia probably would say the same thing, but that's pretty bold. And again, I'm not making endorsements. I'm not having endorsements. If somebody who is running for president of the United States is willing to come on our podcast and talk to us, we're talking to them.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean we support them. It doesn't mean it. Chances are they're going to be similar to us, or they probably wouldn't be willing to come on our show. You know, we're not big enough that somebody who is like completely out there is going to want to come on our, like from us is going to come on our show because there wouldn't be anything to gain. But I am not going to are you kidding me? We're a small potatoes platform and somebody running for president of the United States will come on and talk to us. Of course we're going to do that.
Colin, please drop free and equal Assange.
But yeah, I do not endorse anybody other than, you guys know, I support Dr. Cornel West.
So here we go. This is about Julian Assange.
Support pardoning any or all of these individuals: Julian Assange, Edward Snowden, Ross Ulbricht, and Leonard Peltier. Are there any other people besides the ones we just listed that you would want to pardon?
Oh,
Yes, no.
Yes, I agree with that, to pardon all those people.
Who's he?
Great.
Yes. Free all political prisoners.
Thank you.
Yes, and among the many who are incarcerated for political reasons, the man who basically identified that drones kill the wrong person 10 times more often than they kill their actual targets. He, too, is rotting in a high-security prison now.
All right. Jasmine.
Yes, Daniel Hale, thank you.
Daniel Hale. Jasmine?
Yes, I'm abolishing prisons and giving people who need help house arrest so they can get the treatment they need with our universal health care policy.
Yeah, she really is a unicorn, that's for sure. It's the purple hair. You're getting drawn in.
I'm drawn. Well, the truth is that anybody running under a unicorn party is going to obviously sit there and speak to my soul.
Yeah, and just say everything that isn't going to happen, but still nice to think about, I guess.
I'm letting all of these people out so they can begin thriving in this country.
Chase?
Absolutely. It'd be the first thing I would do if I were elected president right after I take the oath, would be pardoning all four of those. I would also pardon anybody who is a truth teller, a whistleblower, anybody who's currently in prison for any crime to which there is no victim, such as drug crimes, sex crimes, or any other crime to which there's no discernible victim. We need to release these people out of prisons because that is why we suffer so much problems in this country.
Thank you.
I'm liking him.
Isn't it amazing how easy it is to tell the truth when you're not bought and paid for by corporate?
Because every single one of those people were able to tell their truth.
Yeah.
As opposed to any other time you're looking at candidates and they're like so beholden to whoever they're beholden to. So they can't even say it if they'd want to do such a thing. They have to like check with their sponsors. Can I say that?
You know what, Colin? This is pretty good. Let's do one more. We'll do the free and equal environmental justice. Let's see what they have to say about that. That'll be interesting.
I want to know who that other guy is. So hopefully he'll be talking.
Chase Oliver?
No,
Oh, the
the
guy,
other
yeah.
guy. Yeah,
All right, we'll see.
I don't know who that is.
PFAS and other forever chemicals contaminating the drinking water of 3,000 communities and affecting an estimated 200 million Americans.
That we know about.
Right.
Just remember.
I
could be
for every
drinking
rat you
poison
see,
water
there's
right
50.
now.
Well, not if you got that out of my refrigerator.
Well, because you're just divine and, you know.
Well, no, because that's filtered.
Reverse
and
osmosis? I'm just saying. All right.
What
here
I'm
we go.
saying to you
Here we go.
is that's not
What
tap water.
actions would your administration take to hold the responsible parties accountable for this pollution?
If we want to live in a cleaner world, we have to stop letting government pick winners and losers with regards to energy. What kind of energy is most subsidized by the government today? Carbon-based energy, oil, natural gas, other things. I don't like government picking winners and losers in the marketplace. I would deregulate energy entirely, particularly nuclear energy, so that we can get more of that online, which burns clean, can provide so much power, certainly more than, say, a natural gas or coal or anything else, and also is much safer. And people.
So this is the big issue here, and this is the one that we've talked about at length. And I am a proponent of nuclear for one reason and one reason only. It is the only way in the foreseeable future that we can get off of coal and natural gas. And so if we want to get off of it, if we want to stop fracking the shit out of people, especially working people's land. Because remember, rich people's land never gets fracked.
And it's also, let's talk about indigenous people.
Correct.
Because
Oklahoma, Colorado, where do you think all this happens?
It's always, first of all, it's always amongst people that are what we would consider poor people. People that have means don't get pipelines built under their house, but it's very specifically communities that are very vulnerable and get no attention. And indigenous communities are definitely high up on that list. Is it me, guys, or does he look like a very kind of straight Sean Hayes? Let me know if you think I'm like making that up.
I could see that.
All right.
Well, scared of 3 Mile Island or Chernobyl, but I remind them, those are very rare things. We only see that once in a generation. But what we see is we see thousands of coal miners who have died from lung disease. We see thousands of people suffering asthma and all sorts of effects from carbon-based fuels. So I would like to see us get back to sensible policy, remove those tort caps, and let polluters actually pay when they do something wrong.
Again, this is where the libertarians I want to see what that is.
Yeah, it's where the libertarians get it right.
Well, they do get it right. And, they really have a sense of, they have much more of a sense of justice.
Yeah, here we go.
Actually, bros out corporations with tax code. With the tax code, they're able to give favors to the rich and to the elites. And then those corporations are basically in cahoots with our government. And that is why they're able to get away with these things that we're talking about, where
Okay, so since he doesn't have a title, I think he just snuck on stage and decided that he's going to say the things that needed to be said. I'm not really running for president, but I kind of have an opinion. Here. I need to share this with you guys.
Maybe Kennedy didn't show up. They had the empty podium, and this guy just stepped in.
It's like, all right, listen, I'll fill the spot. Let's go.
They're able to cover up things, where they're able to mask things and to reduce the penalties that might come. If we let the market take care of itself, the communities will be able to rise up and will be able to be taken care of. We have to let our government function. And part of that for me is that we can't have career politicians, because career politicians lead to corruption. So I'm in favor of term limits. I don't think that people should be in office for 40 or 50 years, because that lets them get in bed with these corporations much more, and that leads to these bad outcomes.
All right, he's forever known. Does it say?
Yeah.
No, who his name is? Okay. He will forever be known as the cahoots guy. He used the word cahoots. I appreciate that. And so that's it, the cahoots. Also, I could not tell whether or not, but I'm thinking he was sporting a ponytail.
Yes, I think he was too. So if anybody can find out who the guy is who just snuck on the stage.
And where the hell is Vermin Supreme? Thanks for watching. If you want to support our mission to transform politics into service, please like this video, subscribe, follow us on social media, and consider joining our Patreon, where you'll get early access to our interviews as well as other exclusive content. Links are in the description. Peace out.